Hello, everybody. It's Janine. I am back in my studio after a long time of being away for at least 3 months. So, this is my first time live back in the studio with a guest after 3 months. And I'm here with the wonderful Genesis One. Yay! And let me tell you how I came to meet her. I was on a channel of a fellow YouTuber called GA Girl. I think it's GA Girl. I'm Every Woman. I'm praying I'm saying that right. But I was on her channel talking, and then Genesis One came in, and then I said I got to interview this woman. She is so interesting, and she just has just a spark about her, and I just wanted you guys to meet her because she really, just a little time that I talked to her on GA Girls channel, she really touched me. So, without further ado, Genesis One.
Hey,
So
everybody.
yeah, say hi to everybody.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Janine. How are you? Good evening, chat. Hello, everybody. Good to be here with
Okay,
you.
so
Mhm.
Miss Genesis, you told us in GA Girls, I Am Every Woman, that you are from Jamaica and you live in Toronto. You moved from Jamaica to Toronto. Tell
Yeah.
us why and how that came about.
Okay. Thank you so much for asking again. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm very excited. This is my very first ever YouTube interview as a content creator. Yeah. So I'm over the moon. I'm over the moon. But to answer your question, ma'am, I came to Jamaica with my family. My family immigrated here for work opportunities and for educational opportunities for the family. So that's how I ended up in Canada from Jamaica. And, I get that question all the time. Why did you come here from the tropics to the frozen north? Are you like, what's going on there? But yeah, I had no choice. I definitely had no choice. I had to go where the family migrated to. So yeah, but it's been an interesting journey. It took a lot of getting used to. 'Cause, I came from the tropics and having to deal with not only the weather, but just the clothing, the language. Because in Jamaica we speak patois. We speak broken English. So that's a bit of Creole English and broken English mixed together and a bit of French. So, I mean, here in Canada, they speak the Queen's English, for lack of a better phrase. So having to deal with the climate, the language barrier and just the clothing, because I went from, sandals and a t-shirt to, and I came in the dead of winter.
Oh my.
So
Oh
yeah, so
my.
it was a little traumatic for your girl. Yeah, I came in the dead of winter. So have I gotten used to it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Have I adjusted to the weather? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But yeah, I had my formative years here in Canada, and I have to say that, this country has blessed me, not only with an opportunity to have a good life, I mean, a decent life. I think a life that, that I'm comfortable. But I had a speech impediment. For those of you who might not know, for the first 11 years of my life, I was basically catatonic. So, the fact that I was able to go to speech therapy and learn how to speak, and that was also another traumatic, experience as well. But, hey, I live to tell the tale, and I can communicate now, honey. I can communicate well now. But yeah, I had a speech impediment for the first 11 years. And again, for those of you who might not know, stuttering is
Mhm.
hereditary, and it's from the patriarch side. The patriarch is the man, right? Yeah,
Right. You're
yeah. So
correct.
so it's from the male side of your lineage. And my father did stutter. He had a horrible stutter. So I'm grateful every day for the fact that I can speak, that I can communicate, that I can get my thoughts out, I can formulate my sentences, and I'm heard and understood. Now, when I get nervous and I get angry and I get anxious, yeah, the stuttering does kick in. So I'm hoping tonight, I can navigate that and and not start to get a little bit, excited, and then I start to get flustered. But yeah, so that's a little bit of my history of an island girl in the frozen north, honey, the frozen north.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So, is there a large Jamaican community in Toronto?
Yeah, there is actually, I, you know what, I'm glad you asked that because I did a stream the other day about it and I wrote down the stats. So let me look at my notes, honey, because I wrote it down and good thing I did. So there are 3,000, sorry, 309,480 people of Jamaican descent in Canada. And in Toronto, there's 140,870 out of the 309,000, sorry, 309,485, 1,480, 870 live in Toronto. So that's
Wow.
yeah, so that's 3% of the population of Jamaicans in the whole entire population of Canada, which is 333 million. We make up 140,870 that's living in Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's a pretty fair amount. I think it's the largest amount of Caribbeans living in the diaspora coming out of Jamaica. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're
Right.
almost at 200,000.
Hmm. Because I do remember when I was there, they were talking about some kind of Jamaican festival that they have every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, that's
I didn't
Caravan.
get to go.
Yeah, Caravan. It happens every year.
Wow. And what is that like? What is that celebration like? Because I really would like to know.
So we play mass, and that's when you dress up in your traditional, celebration outfits. You've got feathers, and I mean, it can be outfits for lack of a better phrase because it's hot, right? You're not going up there in a sweater, you know. So
Mhm.
the men will be in like shorts, and they'll have feathers and maybe some kind of trinkets on their arm, and the women will have like maybe a tank top and some shorts and feathers, and then there's music and you dance and there's food and it's just a celebration of the culture, and there's calypso, reggae, ska, all types of music that celebrating the Caribbean, and that usually happens at the end of June into July. So it's just
Mhm.
basically a celebration of the culture of the music and just being one and fellowship together. And it's not only Jamaicans that enter the festival, and that's the thing. That's the beauty about Canada. It's a very festival driven country. So no matter where
Mhm.
you are, you can celebrate your festivals, you can celebrate your traditions, and it's not so much that there isn't a pushback for that. It's very much welcomed. You know, definitely see the stuttering is kicking in. I'm excited. So it's very much welcome for you to celebrate your customs. So the thing that can Canadians really whole value is that it's a very family oriented country and it's a very peaceful country. Canada will welcome you with open arms. You can make your life here, you can build your future here. Canadians just want peace. So don't come here with all that rigmarole. We just want peace.
That
Yeah.
sounds great. That
Yeah.
sounds great. And
Hmm.
so on the subject of peace,
Hmm.
uh, now here in the United States, you get a gun real quick. You just go to
Hmm.
Walmart and get one.
Right.
Like bam. So do you guys, because I live in Texas and Texas
Hmm.
is really a gun state for
Right.
real.
Hmm.
So do you guys have can a citizen, a regular citizen just walking around with a gun there?
No. No, I don't really know the gun laws per se, but you can't just, walk around with a gun because you have a permit, right? And the laws are very stringent, if that's the word, for you to
Mhm.
get a permit. I mean, clearly, we have a hunting season up north and whatnot, right? But
Mhm.
say that you can just walk into Walmart and buy a gun. No, I mean you can probably buy a hunting gun at Canadian Tire. That's a huge
Mhm.
multi-purpose store here. But you've got to have your permits. You've got to pass through a whole bunch of security checks before you can get a gun here. So it's not so
Wow.
easy. Not
You
so
don't
easy.
have to have anything here. I'm serious.
So
There you just walk in, you don't even have to show, I think you show your ID and that's
mm,
it. You don't even
yeah.
have to have a permit. Do you have to have a permit? I don't know about that. But
Mm,
it's so easy. It's so easy to get your hands on a gun here. It's crazy. So I just
yeah.
wondering, if you guys have better gun laws. It sounds like you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sound like you guys do. But don't know nobody write into me. Don't come in here with saying stuff that I'm a liberal or whatever. This is my channel. and I can say if I want to talk about gun laws and not being for guns, that's me. You don't got to comment because people will come in here talking crazy. You don't got to comment on that. You don't got to comment on that. Okay, it's my opinion. Does it? I can say my opinion. Okay, get that straight.
Yeah. Speaking of comments, if anyone is adding me or greeting me, my apologies. Whenever I'm on a panel, I don't read the comments because I find it distracting. So hello to everyone who's adding me, and we definitely have a Q&A, in a few minutes. But for those that are adding me, hello, good to see you.
Well, actually, we don't have anybody in the chat right now. I know I
Oh,
posted it.
I posted it too.
But you know what? People
Mm.
watch the replays.
Yeah, God bless the replay, honey.
So that's so really because I've had stuff and then nobody watched, and then later on,
Yeah.
here they come watching the replay.
Mhm.
So
And
don't
also,
get
sorry to cut you off. There's a lot of bushwatchers. So even though they might not register in the chat, there's a lot of bushwatchers.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't even worry about that because most of my friends, they watch the replay. They may not watch it when it's on live. They come back later and they watch the replay. So
Yeah.
I'm not even tripping on that. So let's go into your channel. Let's talk about what do you do on your channel? Oh, first of all, why did you start your channel?
Okay. I started my channel because I was nudged by 3 people. Can I mention their names here?
I don't care. Go ahead.
Yeah. So first of all, Mr. Template Sounds, he really, really encouraged me last year to start a channel, but I was very apprehensive about it. And then we had Mr. Bogle VNR. He's a content creator as well, a fellow Jamaican. He resides in Jamaica, and he encouraged me. And then we had EJ hanging with Brody. He's a fellow content creator in America. So those 3 gentlemen really pushed me, in the forefront of becoming a content creator because I was, I thought I was a great subscriber, an external stakeholder. I'm a mod on multiple channels, and I really enjoyed modding. I popped up on a few panels every now and then, but I was always a nervous wreck up there. I just wanted to say what I had to say and jump off. So me being a content creator is shocking to me. The fact that I've done it for 8 weeks thus far still
Wow.
surprises me. It still surprises me. And I never, first of all, I thought, what am I going to say? Number 1. Number 2, can I hold an audience? Number 3, I'm a very solitary person. I mean, I'm not really a people person, but hence, how can you be a content creator and not be a people person, right?
Right.
So yeah, so for me, I was battling with those, type of scenarios in my head. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna pick up the camera and I'm gonna start, and then we'll see where I land. And I said I was gonna give it a 1 solid year, 12 months to, navigate the landscape of the YouTube atmosphere, learn what I could. And at the end of 12 months, if I still wanted to be a content creator, then I would, forge ahead and do it. And that's still the plan right now. But as I've learned on my YouTube journey, there are no absolutes when it comes to YouTube. I mean, certain absolutes, clearly you don't want disrespect, you don't want anybody, talking about anybody out of turn or whatnot. But yeah, so what I've learned is that there are definitely no absolutes when it comes to YouTube. And I've learned a lot thus far. And yeah, I still can't believe that I'm up here doing an interview because trust and believe you me, I am a very, shy person, an introvert. I'm a loner. So, hey, honey, it's working.
You're doing good. You're doing really well.
Thank you.
So, okay, so now we know why you started the channel. Let's talk about what your channel's about.
Yeah, so I'm still sort of formulating that right now because in the beginning, the tagline was elevate the conversation. And that's still the tagline. I want to have, conversations that are not the norm. I want to have, a place where, individuals can come and we can just celebrate together, fellowship together, and it be a peaceful, calm environment. No disrespect, no name calling, no, talking over the mic, behave as adults and just maybe elevate the conversation forward, maybe change the landscape just a bit. Because I'm a woman of a particular age, I'm heading into the twilight of my youth. I've got, 30 years left in me, right? So I figure I want to contribute something. I want my digital legacy to be, something of value. Why are you giving me that look?
What are you talking about? You head in the twilight of your youth. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Twilight of your youth. I don't no. Don't even say that to me. Don't say that to me.
Well, I'm heading into the twilight of my youth. Clearly, you're still in your 20s, tripping the light fantastic. So,
Girl, I'm gonna be 50. No, not even 50 anymore. I'm gonna be 60 in
mhm,
August. So
okay.
all this twilight of my youth and all that, I still got it. I still got it.
Yeah, I
I
never said
still
I didn't
got it.
have it. I never said I didn't have it. I said I'm heading into the twilight of my youth because I know for sure. I'm gonna just veer off and tell you a funny story. I used to be a cheerleader back in high school. I can, yeah, rah, 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 sis, boom, bah, there you go, right? Flips and all of that. I tried doing a cartwheel a couple of years ago, and my
Mhm,
body said, "What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Do you
mhm,
want to fall on your
mhm.
head?" And in the midst of tumbling, I said, "You know what? I'm going to stop this right here and right now because I'm not messing up my money maker, honey."
I heard that.
Yeah, yeah, but
Well,
back to the
let me
Mhm.
ask you this. Did you
Okay.
stretch before you tried to do that cartwheel?
Girl, I didn't stretch.
That's why you have problems.
I did not stretch because in my mind, I'm still 16, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So,
No,
but back.
you
Mhm.
gotta stretch, dear. That's why
Oh,
you have problems. If you had a stretch, there would have been no problem.
all right. Well, next time I know, but I won't be doing any cartwheels anytime soon. So, they'll just live on the memory of the sis boom bah, honey. So anyway, back to the question at hand. So I'm still
Mhm,
trying to figure out, what the direction of the channel is. I mean, I just learned how to do YouTube Studios Live the other day, and I'm still trying to learn the gymnastics of that because I'm pretty comfortable with the StreamYards. I'm pretty
mhm,
comfortable with the StreamYards, even though every once in a while, if I don't do a stream for a few days and I jump back in it, it's like, I'm baby stepping it again. So, but I'm still trying to figure out what the direction of the channel is. I know that I definitely want to have conversations, and I've done a few streams about, specific topics like, what is your vision, knowing your boundaries, and, just, I want to be of service. I want to be of purpose. I want to leave something that's going to mean something to me, my family, the subscribers at hand, which I call the community, and just be of greater good somewhere. And I always say I want world domination, and I make no bones about it. I make that statement boldly. I want to be in every corner of the world, in every household.
mm,
Definitely. I definitely think that I have something to say. I have something of value, and I'm not saying that with an ego. I'm saying that with confidence
mhm,
because I know that, I definitely have something in here that needs to get out to the masses. But what does that look like? I'm still formulating that. I'm definitely still
mhm.
formulating that because, I don't really have a set plan. Sometimes I'll do a stream at, 6 a.m., 4 o'clock in the morning, 8 p.m., 11 o'clock at night, 7:30 in the morning. So, I'm still trying to figure that one out, but
Mhm.
so far so good.
What is going to increase your audience is your shorts.
That's the thing. I don't like shorts. I don't
I
like
understand.
shorts.
Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
You take your long format, and then
Hmm.
you just take a little clip. You go
Yeah.
through it and figure out what you think is important and what you want to say to people.
Mhm.
Take that
Yeah.
little clip, make it a short. Cause
Yeah.
that's what I'm
Uh, you're like the maybe the umpteenth person that has said that to me. But
Mhm,
for me, because I watch shorts and I find shorts just for
mhm,
me personally, it doesn't do anything for me. I don't like
right,
shorts. I don't like doing thumbnails. You know, my thumbnails, I do them, for the stream in hand, and then after that, it's just goes back to the avatar. So when you scroll down my digital history, it's just the avatar of the channel. I don't like
mhm,
doing I don't like doing thumbnails. I don't know why, but for some
mhm,
reason, those two things just really irk a girl. So maybe
mhm,
at some point, I might change, but for now, I just figure. And then I was watching something, from a Think Media, and they were saying that, gone are the days where you have to stick to the rules of YouTube. YouTube is changing every single day, every single hour. Shorts are in today,
mhm,
shorts might not be in tomorrow. Thumbnails are in today,
right,
thumbnails might not be in tomorrow. So I'm just such a stubborn head that I figure, you know what? I'm gonna do it my way, and it's all gonna
mhm,
yeah, the chips are gonna land where they land. So whether I have
right,
a short, whether I have a thumbnail, if somebody's gonna subscribe, I figure they're coming for me. You know,
mhm,
and the personality and what I have to offer, whether I have a short or a thumbnail or not. So,
Mhm.
but then again, hey, I could be wrong. I don't know. We'll see how it works out.
I understand what you're saying because I was like that for a long time,
Yeah,
and then when I started throwing those shorts out there, my
yeah,
subscribers have gone has have
yeah.
blown up. I mean,
Mm,
boom. Hey,
yeah.
okay, GA girl. GA girl, every woman wellness. She's here. She's in the house.
Hey there, Georgia girl. How are you, honey? We were just
Yeah.
talking about you a few minutes ago.
Yep. She says, I'm watching. I'm glad she's watching. But
Oh,
but see, I'm trying to convince you. I'm trying to
yeah.
convince you.
Listen, you're like the umpteenth person, as I said, that that's told me shorts, shorts, shorts. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow I'll wake up and think, all right, I'm into shorts. I don't know. Yeah, but for
Right.
now, it's
I
working.
get it because I was like that. I
Yeah.
was very much the same way you were. I was like, oh, I'm not doing any shorts.
Yeah.
That's not my content. That's messing with my flow.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I started, it's like,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
and I and I prefer longer content
Mm-hmm.
because this is my thought. I think that shorts, also with me, not I'm not just talking about other people. I'm talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
It makes your attention span shorter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
find myself, clicking away on a 3 minute, on a 3 minute, 3 minute whatever, something that's 3 minutes. I find
Mm-hmm.
myself clicking away. And I was like, that's because you watch shorts too much. It's messing with your attention span.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think that has a lot to do with it. But getting back to subscribers,
mhm,
the adage that I've always started out with that, and again, I'm not bragging, ladies and gentlemen, I'm carrying on the conversation just to make a point. Um, I mod on 20 channels and I mod for some significant, heavy hitters in the YouTube space. And I know some significant heavy hitters in the YouTube space. And people have said to me, oh, you mod for so and so, you mod for, so and so. Why don't you get them to shout you out? You can have your subscribers like that. You can have your watch hours like that. And I made a conscious effort to build it one subscriber at a time. I made a
mhm,
conscious effort to do it the old fashioned way, to get in there and, just dig down deep, introduce myself to different platforms, jump on a few panels, get my name out there, and have people come to the atmosphere because of me, not because they were recommended by somebody who's a heavy hitter. I don't want
mhm.
anything out of obligation. I don't want anyone there, just for curiosity's sake, and I don't want anyone there just, hitting the subscribe button just for the sake of hitting the subscribe button.
Right, right.
Yeah, if it takes me a year to get my 4,000 subscribers, what is it, 1,000 subscribers and the 400 or the 4,000 watch hours, then so
Mhm.
be it. But I
Right.
want to do it my way. I want to make sure
Uh-huh.
that it came out of my steam, my hard work, and my determination. Now,
Mhm,
granted, people will say, oh, people have posted your stuff on their community wall and not. That's different. Having
mhm,
somebody post something on their community, I call it the community tab. Having somebody
mhm.
post their community tab doesn't guarantee that somebody's going to subscribe to you.
That's true.
It doesn't guarantee that they're going to come over there and like your content. Now,
Mhm.
it may guarantee that they might look.
Right.
You get a look, but at the end of the day, that's not really, a shout out from a heavy hitter who's got maybe, I don't know, 800,000 subscribers and whatnot. So,
Mhm,
yeah, so for me, I've always said, please don't shout me out. And I'm going to do it in my own time, in my own way. And I want people to find me by happenstance, circumstance, or what have you. And I looked at my analytics, and I do have the notes here, but yeah, my analytics, 28.7% of my analytics are, I think that there's a word for, I don't remember the proper phrase, but I'm going to call them look-sees or passerbys or curiosity seekers. That's
mhm,
28% of my viewing are people just scrolling through the YouTube. And I've
mhm,
gotten 10.7 percent of my subscribers from people just scrolling around and looking at my content.
mhm,
You know, so yeah. So for me, I want people to find me and be
mhm,
there for me. And no disrespect to anyone, but that's just how I'm choosing my
mhm.
YouTube, my
Yeah,
YouTube. Yeah.
right. Let's talk about what are some of the topics that you have on your channel? And
Right.
just tell me some of your topics and why
So
you choose those topics.
the one thing I really enjoy is I'm doing a series on highlights and challenges, and that's every Thursday, roughly around 11:30 a.m. and we talk about the highlights of the week, and we talk about the challenges of the week. And I've also said that challenges don't necessarily have to be difficult. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that challenge word is problematic because apparently words, in 2024 is problematic, right? So we talk about the highlights, we talk about the challenges, and as I said before, challenges don't necessarily have to be anything negative, right? And so that's a series that I enjoy, and the community seems to really like that. What else have I talked about? Now I can't remember. Now I have a brain. So this is the beauty of the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Hop on over and take a gander at your leisure. But no, I've talked about boundaries, setting boundaries, knowing your boundaries. I talked about what your purpose is. I talked about that. And I've had 4 or 5 long content streams where people just come up and we just have a good old chin wag about whatever. Oh, and I
Mm-hmm.
talked about, is there a God? That one was pretty popular. And I
Oh, I got
talked
to
about,
see that one. I got to see that one.
yeah, so I talked about, is there a God? And I talked about life after death. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Mm.
So it's a whole gamut. It's a whole gamut of what I discussed. So that's what I'm saying. As previously, I'm still trying to formulate what the I guess the
Your
form,
niche.
yeah, and that's another word that irritates me too, because
Right.
I've seen, again with Think Media, they talk about the niche thing is phasing out because you have a channel where, okay, they're talking about fly fishing, but yet,
Mm-hmm.
somebody's into basket weaving. And that's where
Mm-hmm.
your playlists come in. One day, every Wednesday, you're doing basket weaving. So your basket weavers who subscribe to the channel just for basket weaving will show up. Your fly
Mm-hmm.
fishing people who come there for Monday, Thursday, Saturday, they'll definitely show up for that. So I think for
Mm-hmm.
me, the niche thing, because I was thinking, what's my niche? I have vast interests. I like a whole bunch of things.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, and I don't want to be boxed in, and I don't want to think, okay, I
Mm-hmm.
started out basket weaving, so for the next 20 years, I'm going to do basket weaving. You know, I mean, what if I want to learn how to, make cocoa beans or something? I want to be able to incorporate that. So I just think that we have to trust the audience, and the audience is pretty intelligent. Have faith in your audience. They will definitely show up for you. So like I said, the ones that want basket weaving will show up on Wednesday. The ones that want the fly fishing will show up on Mondays, Thursday, Saturday. And who knows? Maybe a few of those Monday, Thursday, Saturdays might think, hey, you know what? I want to see what this basket weaving is all about, and pop up there on a Wednesday. I just think you have to trust your audience, and I don't believe then, if you go left, your audience is going to abandon, the what is it, the genesis, for lack of a better phrase, of the channel's, inception. I just think you have to trust your audience. We're pretty intelligent, so clearly, I mean, they chose to subscribe to us, right? So they got to be pretty
Right.
smart.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Now, your channel name, Genesis One.
Hmm.
How did you come up with that and why?
Okay. Genesis 1. Back in the good old C19 in 2021, when the world was shut down and we couldn't go anywhere, and I thought, you know what? Well, this is the beginning, and Genesis is the beginning in the Bible, So I thought, okay, Genesis, this is the beginning of God knows what, and I was the only one in here at the time, so I thought, you know what, Genesis 1, and that just stuck. And the GO3P that just came along recently, so it's Genesis 1 30-minute podcast. Because when I first started out my YouTube journey, I could only be on the camera for 30 minutes, honey, and then I had to bounce because the nerves started setting in. I was thinking, like, what am I going to talk about? I ran out of things to say, and I always say I don't want to labor the point. I don't want to be up here, rambling for the sake of rambling. I don't want to bore anybody. So hence that was the tagline. I thought, oh, you know what, that's kind of cute. G3, GO3P. So yeah, and there's merch coming soon, honey. Merch coming. So yeah, so that was the genesis of the name, back in the good old pandemic. So yeah, and
Okay.
I like it. I think it has a nice ring to it, and everybody else seems to like it.
Mm-hmm. It was
Yeah.
really good. So now is our question portion of the show.
Mhm.
Okay, GA girl, or it is what it is TV.
Oh, hi Hassan. How are you? Good to see you, honey.
So, do
Oh
you have questions for our wonderful guest? Please go ahead and ask those
wow.
questions
Oh,
now.
thank you for showing.
Now. I'm
Wow.
waiting. So
Yeah.
you
No,
know, so you know, so you know it is what it is TV.
Yeah, Hassan, it is what it is TV. Yeah, I know him from back in, yeah, we from back in the days, like almost a year I've known him, and in the corner of these YouTube avenues. We've been on quite a few panels together. Georgia girl, hey, good to see you, honey. Thanks for pulling up. Hmm.
Yeah. So if you guys have a question for our guests, go ahead and ask them now. We're gonna wait. I'm gonna wait a couple seconds. And then
Yeah,
if you don't, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. So we're gonna wait a little bit.
yeah.
Get my music playing.
Wow. Thank you so much for having me. I was so excited. I was really, really excited about it. And nervous,
Well,
but excited.
I'm excited about having a guest on because if you guys haven't weren't here in the beginning, I have not been in my studio with a guest for probably about three months, 3 or 4 months. The last time I had a guest in the studio, and I've interviewed people on the street, but I haven't
Yeah.
had a guest in my studio. And I had to reset my studio up because my studio was down, so I reset it up tonight. And she was very patient with me while I reset my studio up. So I appreciate that. Okay, so we're gonna wait a couple more seconds, and then if you guys don't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and end the podcast. Not podcast, the interview, child. The interview. I'm saying podcast. You also podcast, correct?
I do. Hmm.
Do you have a where do you podcast? Do you have
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
No, on the same channel. What I do is I just chop it up into playlists. So I've got all the podcasts are on a playlist, and all the regular videos are just on the regular videos. And then there's the impromptus. When I do an impromptu, there's a playlist for the impromptus. So yeah, it's just the podcast section and then the regular videos and the impromptus. Yeah. I just,
okay?
because I know that some people have like multiple channels. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have multiple channels in me. I'm a one channel girl, honey. It's one stop shop on a GO3P.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and shut this down since no one has any questions. So
Mhm.
Genesis One, I want to thank you so much for coming in and allowing me to interview you. If you guys, well, you already know Hassan, you already know GA Girl. So thank you so much for YouTube, you guys coming on and watching the show. And so we're going to go ahead and close it out. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for
Peace.
having me.
Oh, go ahead,
Uh,
Genesis. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. This was my very first interview as a content creator, and I'm over the moon. And thank you so much for seeing something in me of value that you wanted to interview me and bring me to your audience. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And thank everyone in the chat. Thank you to all the bush watchers and everyone on the replay. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, share the stream, and definitely sign up to this lovely lady's channel, ladies and gentlemen. You only have
Oh,
your
wow.
channel.
I only have
How
one
many channels?
channel. That's it.
Well, yeah,
One.
definitely come to this lovely lady's channel, honey.
That's all I can handle. That's all I can do right about now.
Listen, I totally get it.
Okay, guys. Peace out.
Take
Bye.
care, everybody. Have a good night. Bye.